Gentlemen?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, Cyclone Duke here once again with some TF2 gameplay. Today I'm going to be defending some payload as the Spy. In particular, I wanted to use the Diamondback right here. This gun does 15% less damage, but for every building that you kill with your sapper on it, you gain a crit. I see this Spy here causing some trouble. Put him down immediately. We're on Badwater right now, one of my favourite payload maps because it is just so dang long. Get some clean kills off the start. My Dead Ringer saves me here from a pill to the face. I got Girardi on me, but that's not too much of a problem while the Dead Ringer's actively up. I try and avoid that sticky as best as I can. And it's back up to the high ground here. When you're defending on Badwater, particularly as a Spy, this high ground right here that I'm jumping up on is so important. It gives you a view of the entire blue guys, their attacking field, all of their, just the exit of their spawn. I get a nice cut in here on both the heavy and the medic, not too bad. Back away with the Dead Ringer, it's not a problem at all really, as long as it's ready I'm confident that I won't die, as long as I'm not on 10 health. But the reason I wanted to get some Diamondback gameplay in today is because during work today on my lunch break I had an absolutely awesome game defending on this map Badwater as the Spy, and the reason for that is because there was an engineer who was attacking, who was using his mini sentries, and I had just absolutely a blast. He was constantly fueling me with those critical hits, and really I was just plowing through their team. Crit, backstab, not a problem at all. The big thing about mini sentries is that you cannot actually repair them, you cannot heal them. If a mini sentry takes damage, the engineer cannot heal it back up. All he can do is repair its ammo and fill it back up with some ammo. Now I was calling for some medics here because my pyro that I'm disguising as was so low in health, but once I see that they're distracted with the Spy, I try and go for some stabs, but unfortunately mess it up. Oh well, what can you do? I know that I've got the Dead Ringer, so I can easily survive a crit bonesaw to the face without a bother. I love this watch. Going up for some easy stabs here on the demo. Back away, turn around with a gun. Always got the Dead Ringer ready to go. This is such solid, easy to pull off, That Dead Ringer is such an amazing reliable. And back up onto the high ground we go to drop down on some blue guys. Check it out, nothing around. I see some demos over to the right. This medic here is distracted. Take advantage of the distraction. One very important thing that you can do as a Spy, just take advantage of people being distracted. Here we go, here's the mini sentry. This is what's going to be giving me some of my crits. The engineer turns around, but I sat that, regardless. Because what's the engineer going to do? Repair it? Take off the sappers? He can't even heal the damage that I've dealt with by then. Call for a medic, get some nice heal, and thank you for the heal, medic. As a reward, here is my knife in your back. And I hear that the cart is being pushed, which is kind of very surprising to me because we have been just dominating them up here over on this hill. And one lone scout must have gotten ahead and pushed it a little bit, but it's back up to the high ground we go. Tunnel's looking a bit empty, I see that Spy, but try and go for some medic stabs. I give away the plan, he's aware of me, but then he actually heals me. Missed the stab twice on the medic and the sniper and waste my crit shot, how unfortunate. Get out the Dead Ringer and it's back up to the high ground. Do we see a pattern here? I'll watch my back for that Spy and opt to try and go for this medic. Face stab. I killed the medic, I'm happy with that. I get saved from this heavy right here. Thank God, this demo man is just oblivious to me. You gotta get some more situational awareness, bro. I'll take some time to consider my disguise. I'm going NG because I'm going to their spawn. I see this medic, I hear that sentry, and that has got to go down. But I pay the price, I got greedy. So the Diamondback, I had never really thought too much of it before, but as I had that awesome game during my lunch break there on work, I really just had to give it some more try defending on Payload, because that's where you're going to see the mini sentries, where the attacking team has engineers. Honestly, the Diamondback I consider quite like the Ambassador. It does a little bit less damage to begin with, but you can get those guaranteed crits. The Ambassador, you got a headshot. With the Diamondback, you gotta sap some buildings. But hey, guaranteed crits. That means 102 damage guaranteed at any range, even from across the map. They didn't push too far forward in this game, but if you can get up onto that roof and look down upon them as they push forward, that you can just wreak havoc. So we're going to jump over here to another game. Again, defending some payload, as that's what I was looking for. I was trying to get some nice gameplay in, finding some combat engineers with their mini sentries to get those crits. I've now swapped to the invisibility watch, an old friend that I haven't used in quite some time, but I do have a lot of fun with the invisibility watch today. It is incredibly reliable. If you know where the ammo is on the map, you can just invis across pretty much the entirety of any map, like a ghost, not a problem. I was having a problem though, where I did find myself dying an awful lot, revealing myself, making silly mistakes like that, and just getting faced. Now I'm fighting this sniper here. I assumed he thought I was going to go up the tunnel, but so that's why I hid. You'll see me now as I use the invisibility watch today. Common trick that you gotta do is fake out the enemy. As you invis, go one way and then swap the other way that they don't expect you to go. It will save your hide very often, particularly from pyros. No sticky jumping for you, demo. That's one thing that you got to be careful of when you're going for a stab on a demo who thinks he's about to jump. His sticky could nearly kill you if you're not careful. They are starting to push into the last point here. This is one problem that I find on payload maps. Going through little choke points like this without the dead ringer can be incredibly risky. I'm wondering if this sniper knows where I am because he was trying to throw his Gerati. Seems he's going for this spy. I decided to try and backstab the spy, one of my favourite things to do, but it turns out it's a scout, who I thought was moving quite slow. But I see that a heavy medic has just pushed forward through the choke, so I follow them up quite safely. And again, I just walk all the way back to this big ammo spawn, and I've effectively just walked the entirety of the map completely invisible. I love this invisibility watch. Here's a free crit for me in the teleporter. Let's sap this and get a nice crit with the Diamondback. Check for people leaving the spawn. There is a heavy. I decide to back away. Gotta stay safe. Do not have that dead ringer anymore to rely on. The fact that a heavy and medic have pushed this far is crazy good for us. I miss on that style of the soldier, but retcon it back with a nice stab. And back to the old hiding place right here. Get an easy kill on a heavy. Here comes a pyro. He shows me who's boss, and I decide if I'm not using the dead ringer, it's time to bring out my old friend the Spy-cicle. Because the last thing you want to get hit with the invisibility watch is fire. When you're using the dead ringer, if you are lit on fire, at least you can just run away. You're taking very little damage. You can just run and get back to safety, back behind your team. You cannot do that with the invisibility watch. You will die nearly immediately. So I did bring out the Spy-cicle just for this setup with the invisibility watch, and I am quite happy that I did. It does save me multiple times. I head back to their spawn here, checking for some teleporters. Unfortunately there are none. It's a very important job for a spy to do when you're defending on payload. Go to their spawn, get their teleporters. It's a very safe, reliable and very effective thing to do for your team. In particular on Badwater, if you can picture it, the third cap. It's an incredibly long walk for their team to do, so taking out the teleporters can help. Again here you just see me faking with the invisibility watch, going to a place where they don't expect me to be. And again right here, I went away from the tunnel because that's where the big ammo spawn and the health pack are. That's where they think I'm going to go. I go a different way. It is important though that as you cloak you remember that there is roughly half of a second where you're not invisible and they can't see you. That is the time that you fake them on. Right there I was feeling the bad effect of the Spy-cicle because I did not have my knife. I wanted to backstab that soldier, but I had to give it a good 4 seconds or so to wait. So really again, just staying near their spawn, staying on the high ground, so important for a spy, staying near the ammo spawns. I see this spy, decided to follow him for a while, because I just love backstabbing spies. He decides to be a little bit too fast for me somehow, but I get a backstab on a soldier, and I see that that heavy is pushing out, so it's pretty safe for us right now. I'm going to go back to their spawn, see if I can get some easy stabs. Razorback! Brr. Well, bullets will take care of it, no problem. I fake an invis into that building. The pyro thinks I'm in there. He is checking that building like a madman. The fake worked brilliantly. If you guys ever play Spy and you don't do that often, give it a shot. I tried again here on this sniper. I hide in that corner, try to go back to his spawn. For some reason, he fired into that corner. If I was him, I would have went up that tunnel, because that's where I would think a spy was going for the big health pack, going for the health kit. But no, he looked out and actually found me in that corner. As soon as I get a strange part for heavy kills, it's going on my knife. Let's go back to their spawn, go for some easy kills, see if we can stop some teleporters. This heavy's a bit more cautious because I got him before. Not cautious enough, and the Spy-cicle absolutely saves my life from that pyro. I get to live on, hit the big health kit, get my cloak back, and live to fight another day. Always got to keep your eyes open when you're a spy, when you're looking to scout out and find some people to stab. Keep your eyes on where their spawn is, the direction that the enemy team is coming from. Watch that you're not going to be seen by people when you make that stab, certainly at least not pyros or people who can kill you quickly. So much ammo on so many maps, that makes me just love this invisibility watch. A problem that I see very often is spies using the cloak and dagger. I don't know why they're attracted to it so much. Oh, this pyro causes me some trouble here. I decide I should turn back and fight or I'm gonna die, but I die anyway. What can you do? So yeah, I see an awful lot of spies using the cloak and dagger. And this really annoys me because these spies cloak in areas that are safe. If you're in your team's area, if you're in an area where your team is controlling and there's not going to be bad guys, you do not need to spend this precious cloak that you cannot gain back quickly in an area that you're not going to be found anyway. Particularly, the problem with cloak and dagger spies is that they waste their cloak as they move through the mid of the battlefield and then need to stand there and recharge invisible in the middle of the battlefield and die to a random grenade. With the invisibility watch you can get the same effect but be able to traverse the entire map, because you can pick up ammo, you can pick up weapons, you can stay invisible for a ridiculous amount of time with the invisibility watch, which you cannot with the cloak and dagger. If a pyro is trying to find you and you are running with the cloak and dagger, you're gonna not really get very far. I bought you up all these stabs and pay the price. How unfortunate. Wish I had the dead ringer there, but what can you do? Well, that's roughly the end of it today, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching, hope you enjoyed some Spy gameplay. I really hope I can get some good Diamondback gameplay in soon. Thanks for watching, all the best, and as always, have an exquisite day.